Hi Pep, James from The Standard. There were probably quite a few people who were happy to see City lose last weekend, if only to make it at least competitive at the top. But with Liverpool involved, do you sense that there is a desire to see Liverpool win the title ahead of City?
I don't know. I think Manchester City fans know. So in England, I don't know. Really, I don't know. I'm not the ability to know what the people all in England think about it, but that it's true. It's United, the two biggest clubs in all history in England, and 27 years without winning the Premier League is many, many years. And of course, I would say in the position, the manager, the club, the players will be, we have the challenge, to write again our own history. For them, it's so important. But more than that is the fact that it's the top side, the top team. For the last year, they are 8-9 years playing really well, so competitive, and losing few points. So that's why. So I think the feeling right now, I don't know what's going to the future, and they are going to drop few points, not too many. So that's why you have to be there, close to them, to catch up them.
It's the best start in their history, I believe. Do you think they are presenting the biggest test that you've had to come up against in this country since you've been here?
Well, I don't know. Every season is a challenge for the first year, to know each other, to adapt to the Premier League, to know a little bit the trick is the secret of that league. I don't know. Every season have a challenge. Of course, we are the last champion, and everybody wants to beat us, and they adapt a little bit the way they defend. For example, Chelsea defending in one way all the season, and in some movements, and they change a little bit, against us. So that's normal. It's a big challenge. Yeah, of course it is.
And of course it is. You spent a lot of money, but you've delivered trophies. When you spend the sort of money that obviously City have done, but also Liverpool have done, do you have to have trophies?
So it's a question for Jurgen. So I don't know.
Do you feel you had to then?
Since I became manager from Barcelona, Bayern Munich in here, so I had that feeling when I grew up from Barcelona Academy, and with 14 years old, they demand to win the title. So I live with that situation, quite not comfortable, but it's better. You have to feel that pressure is good, because without that you cannot win and win. So I used to do that. So it's what it is. So it's not a problem.
Hi Pep, Paul Hurst from The Times. Sorry, excuse me. You said, it's the toughest part of the season coming up now. So having Kevin back, for this run of fixtures, how important will that be for your squad, and kind of how much will it help the confidence within the squad? Yeah,
a lot. I said from the beginning when he injured the first time and the second time, so we're going to miss him. Like when all the players they are not there, it's important because of course he has to recover his fully condition. He has to compete with the players. He have done incredible good so far. Incredible. So, but of course, when we have just more players, we can rotate it more. You can compete between them. It's much better. Of course, it's a good news when he's coming back.
And he seems such a person who really loves football, loves being out there. So for him to have been, I think he's only started 2 matches this season. What's he been like in his recovery? Has he been kind of...
Kevin?
Yeah.
I think Kevin finished exhausted last season. It was so tough for him. He played a lot of minutes, a lot. And it was an incredible performance. And after that, go to the World Cup. And when he came back, I had the feeling, it was a little bit still tired. Because sometimes the people recover quite well, sometimes mentally it's this time. So that's why maybe, we don't want to be injured. But maybe help us, now he's fresh in his mind, he's recovered, and now he's try to avoid again, be injured and play regularly. And of course, he's going to help us. He's a special player for us.
Hi Pep, Jack Gordon for the Mail. Correct me, forgive me if I've misheard you before, but did you say that you've got a tendency to underestimate teams in Europe?
No, in draws. When it's a draw, immediately it's easy for Manchester City. So we have the tendency to underestimate it. Olympique Lyon, Shakhtar Donetsk, Hoffenheim. So that is a tendency in the first vision. That is my feeling. But I never did that, and I know last 16 when I said your colleague, so it will be tough. So right now, I don't know the draw. I can assure you it will be tough. But every player, we have played Atletico Madrid. There's 2 finalists the Champions League in the last years, and same manager and doing what they do it incredible good. And Ajax is an incredible talent players there. Always Ajax is one of the best clubs in Europe, and in terms of the way we play, we can face Roma, Italy, when they defend here, competitors. So every team. Everything Schalke, we saw in the German teams when they let them run. It's incredible how aggressive. I know them by your man in Schalke, so it will be tough. So I know that right now. So the problem, the fix is how we are in that moment. So in February, how we'll be confident, fit, no injuries. But the tendency, we are first. We are going to play with the seconds of the other clubs. Okay. Now you have to be in quarterfinals. I don't know. So I know exactly how tough was our group. And when was the draw, say, oh, it's easy for Man City. And Lyon come here and beat us, and quite easy. So that's why in Europe is be calm and focus in your team, what you have to do, and that is the best way to prepare these 2 games.
Obviously, you're in what is now an unusual position of being second in the Premier League rather than first. Do you relish hunting teams down and putting pressure on teams above you, or would you far rather be the one that's being chased?
Well, I would say that it's incredible. The people say unusual position for Manchester City in low history. I think it was more in the second position than the first. So it's part of the competition. So we compete with the best start ever from Liverpool, the best start ever for Tottenham, the best start ever from Chelsea. So, and still we are there. That is a good news. So if the people will say in the beginning of the season you're qualified for the Champions League first, and we are 1 point after 16 fixtures or 17, I don't know, second, 1 point behind the leader Liverpool with 4 games against contenders away, so I would have signed. So, and the way we played, especially the way we played these 6 games was really good, from my opinion. But of course, we want to be first. We cannot be far away from the leaders, because I think we're going to drop a few points. So we're going to win a lot of games, especially Liverpool and Chelsea as well. Look, Arsenal, 20 points games unbeaten in all competitions. So the level increased a lot comparing the last 2-3 seasons, increasing a lot in the way how the big teams they are playing and losing few points.
Hi.
Go.
Sorry. Is it quite nice? Is it quite nice for you though, in the coming weeks, that Liverpool are top and you're the ones then putting the pressure on them?
The problem now is not to be leader first or second. That is not important. Important is the last game of the season to be first. That is what you have to do. Is what's the next? Is Everton, and I knew 3 weeks ago when I viewed the plan for the next weeks. So, that game will be tricky because it's Champions League after there, and Wednesday we finish in 11:30 at home, and Saturday 12:30. We have less time, few time, and so we'll be deep. And after the quality for Everton team. So, and after next one, Carabao Cup to try to reach the semi-final like last season, and Crystal Palace, and don't think too far away. So next one is here. What do we have to do to beat them? That's all.
Hi Pep, I'm Jamie Jackson from The Guardian. What's your assessment of Gabriel Jesus at the moment? He's only scored once in the league for you, that was in August. I think he scored 5 altogether. He's had 2 or 3 quite serious injuries. Have they maybe disrupted his progress, or you think there's no...
I said many times, I answered this question many times in the last week, so I know the strikers live for scoring goals, and they feel better, they help us, and they want to score goals. But he made a lot of assists in the last. He produced a lot of movements, created spaces for the other ones, and still is a young player. Maybe, I'm pretty sure, when you have a long injuries like he has, always you need sometimes, to settle again. And maybe need time. We are going to give him time to come back in his best performance. But He's a guy who never, last game, for example, in the last minutes, we were exhausted. It was so demanding, the team, and finished 3 actions like a fullback. He's the only striker in the world can do that, the only one. And when he plays, he gives us an extra for our pressing, for our, he helps us a lot. So that's why, just to help him, why he's not in quite often position in front of the goal to score goals, and it depends on some moments. You have to help him, to provide that, and we're going to do that. So I'm fully confident with him.
Simon Bajkowski from the Manchester Evening News. You've got a lot of injuries at the minute. Is that something that is sort of a knock-on effect of the World Cup, or the schedule? Is it just coincidence that you've picked up so many?
Always, when it's happened, it's because the muscle is tired. It's problems like Kevin De Bruyne, for example. And Kevin De Bruyne is because it happened, like Mendy, it's happened. But the muscular issues, always I think it's happened because they are more tired than usual. So normally when you are strong and you have full recovery, you are quite well, you have less tendency to be injured. When that's happened is because we had incredible amount of games, season by season by season by season, and that can happen. But at the end, the way we train in the way to recover is quite similar. No, quite similar. It's identical like last season. Last season we were the best in terms of less injuries in our Premier League. So yeah, watch out, be careful, be alert, more than usual, and that's all.
Do you feel like the World Cup's had an impact with so many players sort of being involved and not having much of a pre-season with you?
So I don't know. No, believe me, I don't know. Can be a reason, but I cannot assure you, because in previous seasons when I was in the teams after the World Cup, we didn't have many injuries. So it's what it is. Sometimes you can do the best, and sometimes it happens.
Tyrone at the Manchester Evening News. You've had a couple of La Liga title races with Real Madrid where it feels like every drop point is going to be crucial and it takes a high points tally to win it. How's it going to be for Liverpool in the second half of the season? Do you think that would be an advantage to yourself? Because I presume it gets very intense in the second half of the season when you know every game is so crucial.
But Real Madrid, what happened to Real Madrid in that?
Yeah, in your title races in La Liga with Real Madrid,
when we were there.
When you were there,
okay.
And, every drop point is crucial.
Yeah.
It looks like something like
it's quite similar.
This season.
Yeah, I had that feeling. Yeah, that's
What's
true.
it like in the second half of the season? Does it get very intense?
Let's try to win every game, to be there when you are in front, to keep the moment, and the players know it. So the opponent is good, not just Liverpool. I think Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, okay, Man United, if he make good runs, can join us, but we knew it from the beginning. So the level increased, and the feeling that we have, everybody had that feeling. So have that feeling. So not just Manchester City had that feeling, the other going to drop points, the other had that feeling, maybe we're going to drop a few points, and that's why everybody make an extra. But the feeling is quite similar, that's true. So in Madrid is always demanding a lot, at least when I was there, and we knew it. So we can lose maybe against Real Madrid, against another ones, but against the other opponents we have to win. If don't, we are not able to win. That's why we won the leagues with 99 points or 96 and doing a lot of points.
Is it going to help with an experience that the longer the season goes on, do you think? Is it going to help your team that you've experienced?
Well, I try to push them. We try to push them to know in every game is crucial. This is the best way to try to win the titles. When you say, okay, in February, March, we're going to see what happens, it's late. Too late. So we know which competition we play, which opponents we face, and of course, but that's why it's nice. If the challenge higher it is, stronger it is, it's much better. To be better team, better football player, and better managers. Okay, thank you.